Hello everyone, welcome to another Sunday dinner at AJ's Island Kitchen. I am so excited today. Sac passe to all my Haitians out there, we are making some authentic Haitian food today. On the menu we have some griot with some fried plantains and some Djon Djon rice. However, we have a lot of people out there that are not eating pork anymore, so we're going to make some griot with some turkey as well. So let's get started. So the last time we cooked, we talked about how important it was to cleaning the meat and prepping the meat. So today, I just want you guys to know the meat has been cleaned, it's been prepped. But one step that I want to add as far as cooking Haitian food, for all my Haitians out there, you guys know that we have to what we call chauder the meat, which is boil some hot water and pour it over the meats, and it kills whatever bacteria is in the meat. So that's really saying and showing that the meat is clean. So that was done both for the griot, for the pork, and for the turkey. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, just to give a quick explanation as far as, you know, people like to make different dishes different ways. The way that I make griot, I keep it very simple. I don't use a lot of powdering seasoning. So what we're gonna have, and I'm gonna go over some of my ingredients right here. I use a lot of scallions, I use some garlics, some parsley. Of course, we have a vinegar and lime. And then we have some pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper. I use some garlic salt and a little bit of salt as well, but that's predominantly what we're gonna use to make the griot. It's gonna be steamed, both the griot, the pork, and the turkey, and then we're gonna finish it off by frying it. Now, again, for those who are health conscious out there, if you don't wanna deep fry your meat, that's fine. You could steam it, and then you could basically color it in the oven. You put it in the oven just until you get that good, nice brown color. So either way you wanna do it is fine. Today I'm gonna fry it, but if you wanna put it in the oven, you could do that as well. So I'm gonna start with my scallion. So right now, these has been washed already. I'm gonna go ahead and cut here. So there's no specific ways of cutting it, guys. It's gonna go into the blender. We're making épices. Now, the épices that I'm making today is a little different because I'm only using basic elements for griot. Done with the scallions. Now, I know I mentioned it last time. These right here, please use some gloves if you're not used to using them. I'm very familiar with using them, so I'm gonna just cut the tip right here and put a whole one in there. I don't want it to be heavily spicy, but if you're eating griot, you have to have a little pep to it. So definitely putting some piment. If you tolerate a lot of pepper and you could use some more, by all means add some more. But right now we're gonna have some kids eating, and some people are not very familiar with pepper, so I'm gonna just go ahead and use 2. This is some fresh parsley, very good as well. I'm gonna put some parsley in there. And my favorite element when I'm cooking, garlic. Love it, love it, love it. You can't cook without garlic. So those are already fully peeled directly into the blender. Again, love garlic, so I'm putting a heavy amount. If you're not too big on garlic, you could put a little less, but right here. Now, fresh lime juice. Here. Preference, some people don't use lime, some do. I really like the lime. I think vinegar has a tendency of being a little harsh, so I'm gonna put some vinegar as well, but I wanna also mix it with some lime juice. And now we're gonna add some vinegar. A little bit more, and you could gauge it. I mean, if I'm starting the blender, it looks like it needs a little bit more liquid, I'm gonna add some more, but right now, just to show, this is about right. Now, putting it on the blender right here. Gonna secure it. Now, this is fine. I don't need it to be extra liquidy or anything like that. It's just to process as much as possible. And this is perfect as far as the liquid is concerned. I don't want to have too much. And what I'm gonna say also is there's different ways of doing it. Some people like to put any powder or anything else that they have inside of it. I would rather put the powder on the meat by itself and just add my épices to it afterwards. So what I'm gonna do right now while this is still here, I'm gonna use some seasoned salt. You could gauge it right here. That would be for the seasoned salt. Our épices right here. And I'm gonna pour it right on top of it. And again, two different meats, same recipe, so I'm using the same seasoning for both. There you go. Now, this is the part where I'm gonna have to put my gloves because it's gonna get messy. I like to use my hands, but it's gonna get a little messy, so I'm gonna put my gloves on. I like to use sazon. Gives a little hint of flavor, so I'm gonna add some to the pork and to the turkey. You could find it anywhere. I like to use the one that's low sodium, and a lot of Spanish like to use this in their recipe also. This one is no coloring. Some of it has coloring that has to do with when you want to make rice or soups. This is for meat, so I always get the one with no coloring. But it's very easy on the pack. You're gonna see meat, vegetables right here. You can find this everywhere. Even Publix has it. There you go. So you really want to mix all of that together. And as far as marinating, guys, some people have it sit overnight. I would say if you don't have time to let it sit overnight, you want to let it marinate at least for an hour. You really want to get the garlic and all these good herbs to get into it. The parsley, the vinegar, the lime. Give it a good mix. And I'm going to do the same thing with the turkey. Good mix. And guys, you could smell all the flavor. I could smell the pepper. I could smell the scallion, garlic. Mix it all up. So I'm gonna let this sit for an hour and we'll be back for the rest. So it's time now for me to steam the griot, which is the pork, and then the turkey. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the pot right here, and again, I'm not gonna add any water. Some people like to add water. There's already enough juices in here where I'm not gonna have to add some water. So just transfer it. And do not add any type of oil, because as you know, pork, and especially when you're making griot, we're using a pork shoulder that comes with a lot of fat. Now, that fat is gonna generate a lot of oil, so no adding any type of oil whatsoever. Right there. Okay, right here. You see all the juices that is generating? That's why you don't need to add any type of other fluid in there. So, there you go. Definitely want to seal it. Make sure you have a good cover. I'm going to start steaming our meat. So again, I'm going to put it at medium heat, which is a 5. If you're using an electrical stove like myself, I'm going to put it on a 5. And what you want to do is steam it for about 30 to 40 minutes. You'll know when it's ready because the meat will be tender. You'll be able to put a fork through it. And then once that's done, then we'll go ahead and go to the last stage, which is frying it. I'm going to do the same thing for the turkey. Right here. There you go. A little bit more. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. Again, no need to add any fluid. All the juices with the vinegar and the lime juice is there. As it starts steaming, it's going to generate even more fluid. So we don't need to add anything else, and no oil. Shake it up real good. Make sure you seal it. And we're going to go over to the stove. Again, medium heat. I'm going to have it at a 5. And the turkey is going to take about the same time. I want to say 30 to 40 minutes, but I'll be checking every so often. And that is it for the meat, guys. Now we're gonna go over to the rice. So I'm prepping for the rice right now. I'm gonna make some authentic Djon Djon rice, guys. So what is Djon Djon? Djon Djon is some dried mushrooms. So it's mushrooms that they have that they leave out on the sun and it dries. And when it dries, the end product is basically this. This is actually from Haiti. I want to show it to you guys. So that's what happens when the mushroom dries. And what you do is you put a little bit goes a long way. So you have some, this has been soaking in water since this morning. So in this is water with some Djon Djon. So that's what turns the water black, and that's why we call it the black rice. So what I really want is the water, because the water is black. So I'm going to drain the mushroom, the residue from the water, because all I want is the water. There you go. That's all I want, and that's what turns the water black. So this is the water that I'm gonna use to make my rice. So for our rice, I'm using some fresh thyme. I went to the farmer's market, guys. It is so nice, so fresh. So you want a good amount of thyme right here. Of course, garlic. So I'm gonna put a good amount of garlic. And if you guys remembered from the last time, we have our pilon. I like to be old school. This is the pilon. This was my grandma, so I'm very proud of using it. She's not with us anymore, so every time I cook, I have a little bit of grandma with me. But that's the pilon right here. And we're gonna have our scallion right here. Right here. A little bit of salt. I'm gonna go ahead and smash all of this right here. Don't be afraid, guys. It's not gonna break. It's a pilon. You really want to smash all that garlic, all that thyme, all that scallion all together. And it doesn't have to be, you know, you just want to make sure that you get a good texture out of it. There you go. The garlic is there. There you go. So this is what it looks like. Just want to smash it up a little bit. So most people, when making Djon Djon rice, use lima beans. I love lima beans, but I'm gonna substitute today because one of my guests is allergic. Can you believe, guys? Yes, he's allergic to lima beans. So I'm gonna substitute peas and carrots, frozen peas and carrots, instead of lima beans. When you're home, please use some lima beans. It tastes a lot better with the lima beans. Don't tell him I said that. We're gonna start making our Djon Djon rice. So I like to use olive oil. So we're gonna saute our peas and our carrots. So what you do is you put your olive oil, and it's just to coat the bottom of the pot, just enough to fry depending on how much peas and carrots you're gonna use. So just to give you guys an idea, it's just right here, just enough to fry the peas and the carrots. Now we're gonna use our scallions, our thyme, garlic, and we need to fry that first. So this is what we're doing here. So we're gonna fry that. Let it get nice and brown. You wanna fry it until it gets a nice golden color. You don't wanna let it burn, because if you let the scallion and the thyme and the garlic burn, it's gonna affect the taste of your rice. So when it gets to a nice golden color, it's going to be your indication that it's ready. And the reason why I'm stirring like this is you don't want it to stick at the bottom of the pot. It smells so good. All you can smell right now is garlic and scallion and thyme. Sitting there. Want to give it a little brown color. You'll see when the color changes a little bit. But again, we don't want it to be burnt. So slowly get it here. There you go. Getting there, guys. Nice and golden color. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my carrot and my peas. And again, depending on how much rice you're gonna make, I'm gonna use about half that bag. Use some right here. And what I'm doing is mixing the carrots and the peas. Add some seasoned salt, not too much, guys, just a little bit, and I'm gonna add some Maggi. Again, I'm not gonna use much, just a little bit. Once I add the liquid, I'll be able to know if I need to add a little bit more seasoning, and you're mixing all of that up. There you go. So this is the most important part, guys. This is our Djon Djon. This is the reason why we call it the black rice. This is basically the juices from the mushroom. It's nice and dark. It has all the flavoring, and this is the fluid that we're gonna use to make our rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and there you go. There you go. There. And we're gonna stir it in. Yep. So we're just gonna wait now for it to come to a boil, and all we do after that, when it comes to a boil, you add your rice, and I will show you guys again, the ratio, because you don't want to add too much fluid and not enough rice, because what's going to happen is the rice is going to be mushy. So we Haitian like to use shelly rice. That's why we have, again, I say it all the time, the best rice. Who said so? AJ says so. We have the best rice, Haitian. So I want to make sure I show you guys what the ratio is and how it looks in the pot. I don't do measuring. So to me, I have a method that I use with the spoon. If the spoon stays to the top and touches the rice underneath, that tells me I have the right ratio. But I'll be able to show it to you guys once I add the rice. But right now, we're going to wait for it to come to a boil. The water has come to a boil, so we're going to add our jasmine rice. Again, we don't wash it because it's scented rice. You wash it, you're going to take away some of that flavoring. So we're going to add the rice. Alright, we're going to add the rice. Alright, I'm going to stop and check the ratio as far as how much water do I have with the rice. So guys, I don't use measuring, but this is what I try to explain as far as when it comes to the ratio with the spoon and the rice. Right now, the spoon goes all the way under. That means I have too much liquid. I need to add more rice. I'm going to add more rice. You see how the spoon is now sitting right on top and it's not falling in? That means I have the right amount of rice and water. So that should be right about it right here. The better you seal the rice, the better it is. So I use a little trick that my grandma gave me. Some people use, and Haitian people will understand what I'm saying. Some people use a plastic cover. Yeah, even though you seal it with the lid, what I'm going to do is use some paper towel that I wet a little bit, seal my rice completely, then I'm going to cover it. And you will put your heat at a medium, not low, really low. So I have a setting from 1 to 10. So I'm going to put it on about 2 right there. And in about 15 minutes, we'll take a look again, but it should be ready. The turkey is done, so what I'm doing is removing the turkey from the gravy. So we're separating the turkey. It's cooked, but right now I'm going to go ahead and fry it. Again, you can either fry it, or if you want, you could put it in the oven and broil it. But today we're going to fry it. So whatever is left over, this wonderful juice here is what you could use for your gravy. You know, us Haitian, we like some gravy with our rice. So this is what you're gonna use. So this is the turkey. I removed it from the juice right here from the gravy, and I'm gonna fry it. And what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of flour in the oil, because I don't need this popping all over the place while I'm frying it. And I find that when you add flour to the oil like this, it's not gonna pop as much. So you just add the turkey to the oil, and you're gonna fry it until it gets a nice golden color. So again, you have to remember the turkey is cooked, so you're not gonna leave it there. You see how golden it's getting? You're only putting in there to get that nice golden color. Because it's already cooked right now, what I'm gonna do is give it a nice, I'm not gonna fry it too hard. See how quickly it is? Being that it's cooked already, it doesn't have to stay there long. It's getting their nice golden color. This is what I mean by a nice and golden color right here. Right about this color right here. So I'm having it right here. Hey guys, this is a griot. I'm doing the same thing, separating the griot from the juices. You see how much gravy we have left? This is all that the pork generated, all this fluid right here. So I'm just separating it so that I could go ahead and fry it. Frying the griot. Alright guys, this is how the griot, nice and golden right here. I don't like to fry my griot so it's too hard, but this is how you want it right there. Alright guys, we're almost done. Now we're gonna make the fried plantain. So what you want to do is let it sit in some hot water. So when it sits for hot water for about 2-3 minutes, you're gonna take your plantain, you're gonna cut the 2 tips out. You're gonna make a little indentation, a mark right here. I try to do at least 2 or 3. like that. I'm gonna make one more right over here. And then, these are just little tricks that they gave me, but see how easy it is for the skin comes right off of it like that. Once you let it soak in hot water, it's not hard to take it off. It just peels right off like this. So you want to take it off, take the skin out. There you go. And then usually what I do is take my knife and if there's little pieces that are left, you could just cut it like this. Now, I like to cut it in the diagonals like this. And don't make them too big. I'm getting ready to make some Banana Peze. So to all my Haitian, some Banana Peze. So in Haiti, we make the sweet ones as well, but the national dish again is Griot, which is fried pork and the Banana Peze. So this is how we make some Banana Peze. So we're gonna take a little bowl, you're gonna add some salt in the bowl, a little bit of salt. And I like to add a little bit of lime juice in it. It's gonna give it a little zest when you eat the banana. Not everybody does that, but again, this is AJ's kitchen. So when people wonder why the food is so good, you have to add it, you gotta spice it up a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I wanna have everything ready because when you start frying, you gotta move fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fry these plantains. They're gonna get to a good golden color. And then I take them back and then I'm gonna smash them. Some people like to use a smasher, and I use what I have. I'm just gonna use this, just smash, and then you fry it again and it'll be ready to go. All right, guys, let's get to it. It's almost done. We're getting to the last step, which is frying our banana. So the oil is nice and hot. So you're just gonna put your plantains right there. Right there. They're all in. There you go. Couple of minutes, get it nice and brown. So here is how you want your banana to look like, nice and golden, like that. So I'm gonna start taking these out. I'm gonna show you guys the extra steps that I'm gonna take. So I do have my salt water ready. Added a little lime again to it. You want to make sure that the banana is cooked because if it's not cooked, when I go to smash it to press it, it's gonna fall apart. So you have to always make sure that the banana is cooked like that. Now you don't want it to be too high because it might be golden on the outside and not cooked inside. That's not gonna work. So you want to make sure you leave it at a medium heat. So I'm removing them right now. I'm gonna reduce the oil right now because I'm gonna have to smash them and then add some salt water and some lime to it, and I'm gonna fry them until they get nice and crispy and it'll be over. So we're almost there, guys. I know it's been a journey, but you'll thank me because I know you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna taste so yummy. All right, so I'm done with this right now. Once it's cooked, this is what I mean by smashing it. And you could use whatever you want. Some people buy a smasher. I just need something. You're just gonna press it, dip it in the water, salt water with lime, let it sit right here. Again, some people like to be nice and thick. If you want it thinner, just smash it a little bit more, like this. Like that. And again, after you put it in the water, don't put it in the oil right away because it's gonna basically make a mess. Smash it like that. So let it sit on the side. Let it sit. I would recommend as you cook, always try to test your food as you go along because you want to see how your seasoning is, if you need to add some. If it's a little too salty or you have too much spices, you could always fix it by adding a little bit more fluid. So always test your food as you're cooking. After you press them, you're just going to go ahead and put them back. And that's why you don't want to put it when there's water right on there because it's going to splash all over the place. While it's frying, I'm going to finish the other ones like that. This is how you know if the plantain is ready. You want it to be nice and hard, just like that. Nice and golden. If you just hit the side of the pan, when it makes that little noise, you need nice. If it's mushy and it's soft, you need to leave it longer. But here you go, right here. There you go. Now you always want to keep clean oil because now you see how nice and golden it looks. Alright guys, I am so excited. Thank you so much. Another Sunday dinner at AJ's Island Kitchen. I made some griot, some taxo turkey, some Djon Djon rice, and some banana peze. Authentic Haitian meal from A to Z. This wouldn't happen without you guys. Please subscribe. Please give me some feedback, any questions you guys have, or any recommendation. If you want me to make some legume, some lambi, or you know, right now I'm proud because again, we're Haitian. You see, we have the Haitian t-shirts that we're rocking, but I don't want to leave without basically bringing some people that I want to introduce you guys to. Giving a big shout out to my girl Janice. She came last minute, called her and said, hey, can you do my makeup? She did an amazing job. Janice, come, let me introduce you. My Haitian sister right here. Thank you. So J-Nice, where can they find you?
You can find me on IG. My IG is j.altidor. Again, that's j.altidor.
Guys, she's amazing. Wait till you see her Instagram page. And I'm also very happy, very proud of wearing this Haitian t-shirts. His name is Ronald Timmer, Haitian Rocks. Awesome, awesome dude. Proud to wear the t-shirt. But I really want to give a big shout out to my cousin Martine. None of this would have been possible without her. She's my rock. She's in the back scene always. My cleanup crew, she likes to call herself the cleanup crew. Come on and rock the t-shirt. She got the colors, the sneakers. Say hi, Martine.
You want to see my sneakers?
Hi. So this is Martine, and then we have one more person that's always hiding, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say her name. Miss Nadej, always in the background helping, always there helping out. She's the rock, so I definitely want to give her a big shout out. So guys, I'm gonna have my guests, they're gonna eat, they're gonna give me some feedback. I had a lot of fun preparing the food. I always make it with love. I'm very happy, but now what really makes me happy is to see how people enjoy eating the food and getting some feedback from them. So my guests are gonna be eating and they'll give you some feedback as well. Until next time guys, bye.